So, as I mentioned, this one is going to be for Tater. He sent in 2 games against 2 different. I'm going to assume it's 2 different players because we got 2 different characters on here. Unless it's just like on Elite Smash and the guy was just hitting random. So yeah, first one's going to be against Young Link. I've reviewed. Honestly, this is probably one of the most common ones that I get. Duck Hunt Young Link. So as I mentioned in the past, basically you both have trouble killing, which that kind of works in your favor. And the other thing too is that generally speaking, Duck Hunt's projectiles are really good at controlling the way that Young Link can use his projectiles. So overall, you do have a slight neutral advantage, and you do have the range advantage over Young Link. The one advantage that Young Link has is that it's technically slightly easier for certain moves he has to kill, and then because he does have a sword, he does have a better disjoint than us. So there's certain moves, if he can get them out on time, will beat you out. Most notably up air, and then if he gets the correct frames of fair, those can be pretty tricky. Those will normally beat you out. But generally speaking, you're not going to have to worry too much. Like, even if he goes for down air, if you know how to hit him from the sides with up air, you're even able to go through that. So overall, range and the disjoint isn't a big issue. You're just mostly looking to control his projectiles and where he can throw them. And then from there, you just kind of like punish like the startup of him pulling projectiles or like the end lag of him whiffing. Or if you know he's going to land somewhere, you go ahead and punish that. Decently easy to edge guard too. Just throw your can off, force him to hit it, and then you can just go ahead and hit him with the dog itself. So obviously online it can be a little bit tricky to do just because of lag and stutter. But if you're offline, it's a pretty easy thing to practice and get pretty consistently. So that's always something you should be focusing on whenever you're fighting Young Link. But if you're playing exclusively in an online setting, I would just say just focus on ledge trapping, just because you can get a lot more consistent with that playing online versus edge guarding, at least against Young Link. Certain other characters, just practice edge guarding them just because they don't really have too many options to mix it up. And if you can get the timing down, you're basically going to have nothing to worry about. Young Link kind of has enough mix up off stage that, or like different ways and or moves with priority that I would say it's a little bit trickier to do that online. Hello, Donut. I don't think you're Donut. So it wouldn't be you. But regardless, let's get into it. So Lilat, overall, actually not a bad stage to be Duck Hunt for in this matchup. Because I feel like, if anything, the slants here are a bit more annoying for Young Link. Just with the way that the bombs are. And just because like the fact that Duck Hunt can kind of just crawl under these and just ignore arrows, boomerangs, and then not really bombs, but like because like the trajectory they throw that, they can still fly over Duck Hunt. So I would say with an asterisk bombs as well, it's harder for them to hit Duck Hunt on the slants, but I don't think that one has as much of an issue as boomerang and arrows do. So overall, if you know how to camp this side pretty well, it's going to be hard for Young Link to get anything started. And as always, please do let me know if the audio is good. Yeah, so overall, because this up smash is decently fast, let me see. I forget the exact frames. Yeah, up smash comes out frame 10, so if you do a bad cross up, he should be able to do that out of shield and catch you. Just kind of depends how laggy your move is. But yeah, if you hit like at the front of him with Nair and then you cross him up in fast fall, as long as he automatically does up smash, he should be able to catch you. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, again, you don't want to throw a clay pigeon out there. Basically, it makes you do nothing, and you don't really gain much ground, where Gunman at least can do a bit more. And if you get the special down, then he can't get anything past that. Yeah. See, perfect. Now that he had that, like, literally, he could... as Duck Hunt, you could stand behind this, and Young Link has no answers to get anything started against this. Like, bombs are going to hit the top, or they're going to hit the platform. Boomerang can't go through, and arrows can't go through either. So basically, like, Young Link has to approach you, which he's a bit weak with that, since it's very easy to gauge his trajectory. You can just punish him very easily for that. Yeah, let go shield a little bit too early. That was a very bad landing. Very random down air, too. Okay, good jump there. I was scared he was going to air dodge into that. That's unfortunate. If he didn't think that he had a jump to punish it, then he could have gotten that pretty easily. The other thing too is you got to remember that arrows are weak enough that if they don't break down the gunman, that means if he's doing landing arrows, you can clay pigeon through it because the clay pigeon will just tank the arrows. Well, it's not really a good strategy because you can move really fast after arrows. It is something that you can do to actually get an opening, but you have to kind of read it. And they cut the roll right there. Oh, the video's pretty low. Yeah, you can turn it up a little. Yeah, the video itself is actually very quiet. He did the dash back clay pigeon. And unfortunately, yeah, so at these low percents, you're just going to go for fair. Up air is never going to connect. This is way, 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 way too low. And not to mention you're playing on Lilat, so if you're coming up from the ledges too, like, there's even less of a chance of him being higher than you. So fair is what you're going to do at these lower percents always. Very bad right there. Basically let him get back to stage for free. All he should have done is just go here, ping the can off, and then hit him. The gravity was also too high, so as you saw when he did that back air can, it only went over here. So even doing that, it wasn't enough to get the can positioned to an area where he'd be able to trap him. Yeah, way too jumpy with that F smash. That's the other thing, too. You have to remember that Yink doesn't really have a good way to land against Duck Hunt. Like, he could just up-air him, but he's refusing to do that. He's trying to, exclusively F-smash him for a landing punish, and, like, you know, that's not consistent in the slightest or good. There we go. We got the good stuff out there. But, yeah, instead of just trying to, like, challenge him more in the air, he just kind of holds aside. You see, look, because he went for that F smash, he actually missed the punish there. And that 152, like, you know, he could either go for F tilt, back air, or up air. So him just waiting would have been the answer there. You have to remember, 150, Clay Pigeon no longer combos into anything true. He has to DI in for you to even get a follow-up. Again, no patience, so he's just losing all of these. That was unfortunate. See, there, he just had to do an F tilt. Like, why are you making this hard? Don't do this. Okay, we got them strong there finally. You know, so for how much he's messed up, he's surprisingly taken very little damage. So he's at least playing it, like, he's not playing it safe, but he's at least throwing out things where he's not getting hit. Yeah, we got anchor can set up, so no real worries there. Yeah, remember, if like a bomb just lands in front of you, you can just grab it and then jump and throw it at him. So then that way you have more projectiles being tossed at the Youngling player. Didn't pay attention to the bomb. Yeah, so whenever you see Youngling do the spin attack, you can just Clay Pigeon right through it. Yeah, see there, like Clay Pigeon, probably would have been able to hit him right there. And at 35%, Clay Pigeon would have got you way more than doing F Smash. Because not only can you do a ton of damage, you're going to link to an area where he'll be off stage, and you could probably get the kill off an edge guard. Yeah. They just got like a standard combo into fair. So that's going to kill. Again, not going for Clay Pigeon. Like on a whiffed tether grab, you can Clay Pigeon that all you want. Again, just not resetting the can, gave up the entire stage control there, did F smash there, so just like pure panics there. Just like grab him and then throw him off. Oh yeah, no, he threw that Clay Pigeon way too early. Like he threw out the can and buffered that Clay Pigeon. Like he wasn't even watching what his opponent was doing. So yeah, that's why you always need to make sure you're watching your opponent. Let me check that real quick. Because, like, most of the time in a situation like this... Interesting. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, point blank, Boomerang is really strong. So, look at this. So, 61%. And it goes to 69. So, you need to do 5% to break Clay Pigeon. Obviously, this did 8% at point blank. The reason why Clay Pigeon didn't break here is because the second that the boomerang hit him, the hurt box for the Clay Pigeon was on the back. So if the boomerang hit him frame 1, the Clay Pigeon would have blown up because the Clay Pigeon's in front. But because he was in the behind him, he was actually able to tank the boomerang and then get the Clay Pigeon to automatically punish him. So unfortunately for something like that, that's not a frame 1 punish. That's like, you need to wait like frame 5, 6, like, it's probably like frame 6 to like 12 or something like that in order for that to work properly. But as you see, it does knock him out of it, and then it does grant the Clay Pigeon. But unfortunately, because there's so much hit stun on the boomerang, you can't get a conversion off of it. So you basically can only reset neutral. So not really a good thing to go for, but something to know. Yeah, also, like, when he does up smash, you can just Clay Pigeon that too. You don't need to throw yourself into that risk. Like, you're throwing out Clay Pigeon at all the wrong times. Oh, man, you tried to read roll there. That's the thing. It's like you're just tossing out like all these smash attacks. You're not thinking about like, okay, how do I just safely like hit him with like fair, get the grabs, get the damage in. You're not looking for safe kills at all. And even when you get the Clay Pigeon, you're not even going for the best possible like combo off of it too. Like off of that one, you could have easily done the triple Clay Pigeon when you ended up over here, and then the up air should have killed him because it was Lilat. That was a bit unfortunate. Then yeah, a little bit too jumpy again. Like, just wait for him to do because when he fast falls with Dare, you have a lot of time to punish him. Because, let me see. I forget if they don't list it here or not. They do. Yeah, he has 17 frames of landing lag, so that's more than enough time to easily get like a grab or like a dash jab into him. So it's not hard. Okay, at least you do cancel your up B with Nair, so that's good to see. Yeah, and then when you're at like 150, you have to be a little bit careful about forward throw killing you, and then he's getting you with that a lot. Yeah, because like you have to think about this. If you get grabbed right here, Youngling can't kill you with forward throw. He has to grab you at the ledge for that to kill you at 150, and not to mention he already staled it. So just holding shield there would have been the absolute best option. Like Youngling does not have a way to kill you off of that. So yeah, way too jumpy. Have zero idea what moves to use in neutral or what's even the best option or punish to get to it. So you have to go back and look at your tools. Obviously, don't use your smash attacks in neutral. That's kind of like a day one thing. When your opponent's at 150, don't go for your smash attacks to kill him. Just use your up airs, use your bears, use your F tilts as well. That'll get the job done for you. The other thing too is when you're using Clay Pigeon, make sure you're using it at the appropriate times. Will it go through arrows? Will it go through boomerang? Is he going to land with Dare here and has no way around it? Or did he use up B or up smash where Clay Pigeon can go through it? Look for those scenarios. Also with tether grab, it's another scenario you can use Clay Pigeon. The other thing is like the combos that you're doing off of Clay Pigeon aren't like good either. Like you get one and then you just do something kind of random and you're not looking at what moves to do. Like you hit him at 30% and you went for up air and there's no world where that's going to connect against Youngling at that percentage. So you have to learn those as well. What else? Yeah, also not using the stage to your advantage. Like you just kind of ran into him and then like rolled into him and he just punished you a lot that way. You decide to land on top of him too. Don't land on top of Youngling. If you just stayed, as I mentioned in the very beginning, if you stayed in this corner, kept a really good like camping game with like gunmen here, standing cans out, and then like forcing him to approach you, would have been much easier to just like punish him consistently. And there's not too much Youngling can do about that. So that would have been the game plan, but obviously it's like you just weren't really thinking in terms of the stage and you weren't really thinking about in terms of what's good to use. So remember, learn the reasons why you use fair, learn the reasons why you use your grabs, with the combos that you do off of Clay Pigeon, when to use Clay Pigeon exactly. And then also the other horrible, atrocious thing just never do in your entire life. If you get your opponent off stage and your can is on the opposite end, cover the ledge. Don't go get the can, because like you want to make sure that he's just gonna like take damage here, and you can just reset your can in the meantime. And as long as you hit him again, then you can throw out your can and reset over here. it'll bring you miles down the future just to be able to get that one little habit into yourself. Okay. So now we're going to go to our next one against Terry. We're going on Battlefield 2. So I know Terry has some ridiculous ladder combos off the top if he does charging Rising Tackle. But I'm not sure how relevant that is to Battlefield. It's something I'd have to look into. The only thing I know is this. The way that you play against Terry in neutral is pretty similar to the Shotos in that all you do is you play the keep away game, and Terry doesn't really have a good approach option. But he has decent burst options that can catch you, like back kick, like that goes really far, that goes in the air, so it can go over certain projectiles. And then power dunk, does have that triangular angle, so there's ways that he can use that to kind of catch you off guard if you're not ready. But they're very committal, and they are pretty easy to punish if he's not using them correctly. So as long as you keep your distance from him, he's not going to really have too many good safe ways to approach you or to get a punish on you for that matter. So let's get this up here. To give you an idea about his jab, if he does jab pressure, it's like -19. Forward tilt has a really good disjoint, so this move you're not going to really punish if he's too far away. If he's next to you, you can grab it, but if he's not, don't bother. Up tilts you see, -12, but you're never really using that on the ground. Down tilt's pretty good, -6, but he has to get really close to you to do that. So as long as you space around him, you can catch him with fair. Dash attack, -18, -15. The one thing you have to look out for is this can cross up. But, F smash, not safe. Up smash, not safe. Down smash, not safe. So all those things you can punish. And then his aerials are decently safe. Up air's not going to really catch you when you're on the ground as duck hunt. You're more than likely you're gonna be approached with forward air or nair. Nair is more likely what you're going to see. If you can parry nair, you'll probably be in a position to punish him. But if he lands with nair, then you're not going to be. So in that case, you just hold shield. But if you do look at this hitbox, this loses to up air, so just anti-air him, and he's not going to really be able to get in. Even if you look at forward air, your forward air can get around this. Your disjoint's big enough that you can just hit him. So you really don't have to worry about all those things. So yeah. Let's check out and see what happens. Okay, so we're approaching already, and we're clay pigeoning right next to him, so we already lost the matchup. See, when you're going in with nair, you're just asking to get challenged and to lose, so you really don't want to do this. Capabilities towards Shotos is that. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the immediate roll, so that way you can technically avoid some type of pressure he has. Also, yeah, right there, huge wasted opportunity. When you get him to shield clay pigeon this far away, that's go time for you to throw out a can or a gunman. You definitely need to know the burst range, but if you're over here and he's over here, he doesn't have any option that's going to catch you that far. Yeah, right there, you could have done it a second clay pigeon, probably a third one. I don't think you would have been able to kill him, though, but you could have gotten way more damage than that. So also important thing to know about Rising Tackle is that you are able to hit him just because he doesn't auto-snap the ledge. So let me find... Here. So he can do the input charge one, but yeah, look at this. So notice how the hitbox does not get that much thicker than this. So most of the time you're just going to have the foot there. So as long as your body's back here, you can do down angled F tilt to kill him pretty easily. He does actually have this one last hit. Still though, you can still outrange that. As long as you get the trade, that's all that matters. So if he does the charge input, he still does lose his invincibility right before it ends. So that's all you really need to worry about. So as long as you stand back at that distance where you can two-frame him, you'll be able to get around this and just down angled F tilt him. So, Don't be afraid to trade with that. It's not going to kill you for the most part. At least like at the ledge. Yeah, like you could have just grabbed him there, but you just went for like the absolute worst option out of shield there. Now just don't land on top of him because he's going to be spamming moves. You know, I wasn't sure if he was going to grab the gunman or not. I actually haven't really tested that out too much. Yeah, again, you don't. It doesn't look like you know your follow-ups after that. Off of weak nair in that scenario, you could have actually got it. You could have actually just like killed him. Like if you did like dashing, and then you could have done like down. You could have done like down angled F tilt, and he'd been dead. That's a funny way to die. Yeah, you need to refresh your shield. Yeah, like why aren't you going for fair? Fair is like the one guaranteed thing you get off of every single clay pigeon. Like you choose every option that's not going to work in that scenario. Just for the love of God, please use fair after clay pigeon at these low percents. Like not only do you get guaranteed damage, but it guaranteed leads to a second thing, whether that be a grab or a second fair or even a bear. You can mix it up after that. Oh, that was bad. That was not because of the buff. He just I have no idea what that was. Not the buff. I would say the change. Okay, good that you pinged the can. You at least had awareness for that. Oh god, that was really bad. Yeah. So let's point out the difference between two scenarios here. All right, not that. Let's go back 5 seconds. So look at this. So he decides to down air right there. So if Terry wanted to deck him with an F smash, the landing lag from this move gave him enough time to do that. Now, let's say he chose to do nothing and then just go right to the ledge, then he would have been safe. So like this is unbelievably a terrible option in every single aspect. Even if he did land a down air, at this percentage it leads to nothing. So you got to be a lot more careful about what options you're using and watching what your opponent's doing too. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, just get used to like understanding how far your opponent's going to travel off of moves. Like this is like doing a Fox illusion and not knowing where they're ending up. So yeah, whenever an opponent is just spamming moves here, just do a get up attack. Yeah, like I don't know why he didn't get up attack there. Like he's just pressing buttons. He's not changing it. Like a get up attack's just gonna go through it. Yeah, again, like yeah, you don't have an understanding of how far he's gonna fly, so you keep missing those like really easy punishes to get. So keep that in mind. Throw. Yeah. At this point, like, yeah, you're just like kind of lost. You're really scared. Yeah, just be patient like that. Like, honestly, he could have probably killed you off of that one opening right there. Because like, he could have jumped down air, and then it probably could do some, like, another down air off of that. And that one, I think you could just, like, air dodge out of. I don't think that was true at all. Yeah, he just ran right into that one. Okay, it's like, okay, right there, I saw elements of thinking. Where is this from the rest of the match? Okay, see, look at this. Okay, so I hit him with Nair. All right, not exactly safe, so I'm gonna jump. Okay, he did something. Now I can jump and fair him. But unfortunately, you did a full hop, so that's the reason why that missed. But yeah, like there's the correct idea. You should have like spaced back, like drifted back to like make it safe and all that stuff. But yeah, see, now he goes for another option. That was a panic option, but honestly, against a character like Terry, because he's going to be doing a lot of jabs, that actually can work out pretty well. And Junior Saibon, thanks for the follow. We're actually 1 follower away from hitting 500. At least we should be. It says 498 right now. But I should update pretty soon. Yeah, what's up, Bear? Yeah, again, like you've missed that every single time. That's a really easy thing to call out. Ooh, bad, very, very, very bad call on your part. Yeah, even if you did an F tilt there, like it's not even remotely safe that close. So you lost the game the second you decide to do that right there. But yeah, you just need to. It's like I've seen you have like some semblance of understanding what neutral is, but then it's like these two games showed like zero understanding of what neutral is outside of like that one little moment, and that's what you need to learn. Okay, so not knowing the distance of Burn Knuckle, if you forgot that Terry had that, obviously, you know, that's kind of more of a matchup thing rather than like, oh, you just don't know how to respond to that move. Because, like, I mean, I think you've played this game enough to at least know how to respond to a Fox or a Falco illusion. So I don't think that you don't know how to deal with that move. It's just that you need to be aware that Terry has that option, and he's probably going to use, like, that or Crack Shoot to just, like, go across, like, about that similar distance as illusion is. The other thing too is like you don't really think about playing duck hunt at all. Like you're not like setting up your traps and keeping yourself safe. You're just trying to go in with a random assortment of moves, and you go for smash attack because it's strong. And it's probably like the worst option to use in that scenario. So you have to remember, why do I use these attacks in these given scenarios? Like if you put like a grade rating on each attack you use, you would have probably had like, to be generous, I would probably said like 5% of those might have been a good option. Maybe. So like, you know, if you really want to do a deep dive and like just kind of understand the psychology of what you are personally going in with when you are playing these games, every single attack you do, think about why you did it and was there even a justified reason to do it. You know, some of these like bad options might have some merit to them, but like let's stick with this. Okay, so Clay Pigeon right there, he's halfway. Technically not a good option, but because you have this platform here, it does make it a little bit harder for him to jump over this and punish you. So there's at least some merit there, and if it does bounce off his shield, he basically can't approach you, as we see right there. See, okay, that was a decent combo there. Kind of weird to go for Nair, but you're able to make it work. See, like there, okay, that makes sense. You thought he did standard getup, but wrong call there. Not optimal, but there's at least some logic to it. It's just this covers one option instead of you covering like 3 options. That's the issue with that. So now this part makes no sense. So at the double F tilt to keep him out, like sure, it's a panic option, but there's at least a reason to it. The Nair is weird. The Nair is really, really, really weird. So, okay, stay out. And then Nair. So the hitbox is this, and then it becomes the pause. What are you stopping with this move? Like, he could technically run into you and do nothing and it would work. But, like, logically, this covers no options at all. And if anything, it makes it so much easier for him to punish you just because he can literally throw out any hitbox and the trade's going to come out in his favor just because of the way that all of his hitboxes are oriented. So if he does fair, that's going to look good for him. He could do up tilt. He could do up smash. He could even do like rising tackle. Like he basically has his whole arsenal that he can use just beat out this move. So like here, if he did full hop and then like fair and landing, well, okay, now you have distance. Your burst probably will catch him. The dist rate that we have is going to beat up most of his aerial hitboxes too. Not to mention, you're going to even outrange most of his anti-airs as well. Like let's look at the anti-airs that he has. So obviously, rising tackle is going to be a bit of a tricky one. So like, let's say that he didn't, let's say that he like didn't buffer he didn't do the charge one. You still could hit his arms as long as you aren't hitting the legs. Your fair can't actually beat this out. If we do, okay, for some reason, if you decide to do power dunk here, look, you could actually, if you did fair, you can still hit his arm and his head, so you can still beat that out. Pauser guys are we're not going to worry about. Probably not going to run into this move in terms of like an anti-air scenario. This one's going to be a little bit hard. This will probably catch your fair just because of the way the hitbox is placed. It's like you'd kind of be forced to land on top of that. So that move, you wouldn't really have an answer for. Obviously, if he went for this, very easy to just like get around and hit him. Because like, this is what you're going to be dealing with. Like, it's going to start off a little big. So like at first, this actually covers him pretty decently. But then like after that, because it moves pretty fast, you'll be able to hit him with fair. And okay, let's look at his aerials. Down air. Pretty long startup, so your fair is probably going to catch him before this even happens, but you can still hit him on the top there. Up air, this is the one move that he has that could probably beat you out. But it's frame 7, and your forward air is frame 5, so probably not. Back air, obviously not going to do. He's a Shoto, hard to turn around. Forward air, main thing, frame 7 again. The hitbox isn't large, so the Destroy should be able to catch him over here. Surprisingly, the one that actually probably would work out the best for him is Nair. Frame 4, pretty disjointed over here. So you'd have to just like hope that your fair clips him on the top here. And then, yeah, let's look at the last 2 anti-airs that he has. So up smash is one of them. So pretty decent hitbox overall, but you can still actually like kind of navigate around it and then fair him as well. Just because it's like you have more horizontal length than he does there. So you can actually get around that. And then, of course, he does have up tilt too. And as you can see, this is a pretty narrow up tilt. So as long as you get around it, you can still fair him below it as well. So pretty easy things to get around with. And yeah, like that's kind of just like one very easy way to break down why this makes absolutely zero sense in this vacuum. Yeah. But okay. Yeah, so, these are the type of videos that we want to see. We want to see, like, people not playing at their best or play that at their best, but, like, understanding, why these certain options are good and what you really need to do whenever you're looking at these things to dissect them. So, yeah, really think about what moves you're using and why you're using them in this scenario, and does it make sense to use this move? You always got to think about what your goals are. At this point, 99%, we're looking to do, like, one more conversion to get him off stage and then kill him. But he's getting close to that percentage where we want to kill him off of a clay pigeon, or we want to kill him by getting him off the ledge, or just like anti-airing him. That's kind of the game that we're at right here. But yeah, we'll definitely cover more of these scenarios in future match critiques, and yeah, and definitely in the ones here, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I don't think Tater is here, so can't really ask him anything. Yeah, I think it's gonna do it for this one.